There is one thing that separates the people who get everything they want in life from those who watch it pass by. And it has nothing to do with talent, luck, or where you were born. By the time you finish this video, you will understand exactly why some people collapse under pressure while others rise through it. And you will walk away with something most people spend their entire lives searching for without ever finding it. But first, you need to hear something that might be uncomfortable. Most of us have been building the wrong kind of strength our entire lives. We were taught to push harder, endure more, say nothing, feel nothing. We were told that struggling in silence was noble, that needing help was weakness, that the person who never breaks down is the one who wins. And somewhere along the way, we started believing it. The problem is that kind of strength breaks people, quietly, slowly, from the inside out. Here's what nobody tells you. Mental strength is not about resistance. It is not about building walls so high that nothing can touch you. The people who are truly unshakable are not numb. They feel everything. They just respond differently. And that difference, that precise moment between feeling something and choosing how to act, is where your entire life is being decided right now. Think about the last time something went wrong. Maybe it was a relationship, a job, a decision you regret. What happened inside you? Most people do not ask that question. They move on too fast, or they stay too long inside the pain without understanding it. Either way, they miss the lesson. And the lesson is always there waiting for you. The people who become mentally strong are not the ones who had fewer problems. They are the ones who stopped running from the ones they had. There is an emotion underneath all of this that we need to talk about, because it is the real engine behind mental weakness and mental strength alike. That emotion is fear, not the fear of hates or dark rooms, the deeper kind, the fear of not being enough, the fear that if people really saw you, your doubts, your failures, your uncertainty, they would leave. That fear is running more decisions in your life than you realize. It shapes you talk to. What risk you take, how you speak to yourself at 2 a.m. when no one is watching. And until you name it, it controls you completely. Now, here is where it gets interesting, because the solution is not what you expect. Mentally, strong people do not conquer fear. They develop a relationship with it. They learn to hear it without obeying it. They build a kind of inner discipline that doesn't silence the voice that says, "You cannot do this." But instead responds calmly, "Watch me." That shift from being ruled by your emotions to being guided by your values is the foundation of everything. And it is a skill. A learnable, trainable, repeatable skill, which means you can start today. The first thing you must understand is that your mind is always listening to you. Every word you use to describe yourself becomes a blueprint. Every story you tell about your past becomes a prediction for your future. People who are mentally strong are extraordinarily disciplined in how they speak to themselves. Not because they are delusional optimists, but because they know that the narrative running in your head is not describing your life, it is creating it. And that is so beautiful. Change the story and you change the outcome. The second thing, and this is where most people stop too early, is that mental strength is built through discomfort on purpose. Not the chaos that life throws at you randomly, but the voluntary decision to do the hard thing when the easy thing is available. Waking up early when you do not have to, having the conversation you have been avoiding, staying in the room with your own silence long enough to hear what is telling you. Every time you choose difficulty over comfort, something in you gets stronger. And that accumulation, day after day, decision after decision, is how ordinary people build extraordinary resilience. But here's what almost no one talks about: the hidden cost of never developing this strength, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. When we avoid building mental strength, we do not stay the same. We get weaker, slowly, almost invisibly. The range of things we feel comfortable doing starts to shrink. The risks feel bigger. The world feels less safe. The people around us start making progress that feels impossible to us. And we do not understand why. That gap between who we are and who we know we could be creates a kind of quiet suffering that is very hard to explain to others and very hard to escape alone. That suffering has a name. It is called alive and lived. And the tragic part is that most people never connect it to the daily choices they are making right now. You are not here by accident. The fact that you are still watching means something in you already knows that a stronger version of you is possible. That version is not fantasy. It is the person who already exists on the other side of the fears you haven't faced yet, the conversations you haven't had, the standards you haven't held yourself to. That person is not waiting to be created. They are waiting to be revealed. So here's what you take from this. Mental strength is not a personality trait. It is not something you either have or you do not. It is practice. It is built in the small moments, the ones no one sees, the ones that seem insignificant until you look back 5 years from now and realize they were everything. It is built when you choose honesty over comfort, growth over approval, and discipline over the escape that feels good for 10 minutes but costs you years. And that thing we promised you at the beginning, the one thing that separates the people who live the life they want from the ones who watch it from the outside, it is not a secret formula. It is a decision you make every single day, sometimes every single hour. The decision to keep going, to keep growing, to refuse to let the fear of not being enough write the end of your story. Make that decision today and then make it again tomorrow.